Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing Financial Insights today. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Financial News, August 3, 2023. Stocks retreat and treasuries decline. Global stocks experienced a slump, erasing gains from this year's high-powered rally. The decline was further fueled by a sell-off in treasuries, pushing 10-year yields to around 4.15%, the highest level this year. This comes in response to hot labor market data and increased U.S. government debt issuance. European stocks fell 1% and marked their steepest three-day retreat since March. U.S. contracts indicated further weakness after the S&P 500 suffered its worst session in 3 months, with a 1.4% decline, while the Nasdaq 100 plunged 2.2%. The VIX index, also known as Wall Street's fear gauge, reached its highest level since May. Asian shares also experienced losses for a third consecutive day. The sensitivity to rising yields and a lackluster earnings season in Europe contributed to the bearish outlook. Infineon drops 12% amid chipmakers' forecast miss. In the latest earnings news, Infineon Technologies AG experienced a 12% plunge in stock value due to disappointing forecasts from the German chipmaker. Deutsche Lufthansa AG also suffered as concerns mounted over debt and increased costs. Bank of England to announce interest rate hike. The Bank of England is expected to raise interest rates again on Thursday. Economists and investors anticipate at least a 25 basis points increase to 5.25%. But there's speculation that a bigger half-point increase may be implemented, similar to the action taken in June. The UK faces high inflation, and policymakers aim to curb it. Dollar and yen gain. The US dollar strengthened, while the yen gained momentum after the Bank of Japan's announcement of an unscheduled round of bond buying. This move follows the introduction of a more flexible yield curve control regime last week. Corporate earnings impact. In corporate news, Société Générale S.A.'s stock rose as the French lender surpassed most analyst estimates. Anheuser-Busch InBev NV, the world's largest brewer, also gained as its earnings exceeded expectations. Conversely, PayPal Holdings Incorporated experienced a fall in U.S. pre-market trading due to its digital payments company's transaction revenue falling short of estimates. Qualcomm Incorporated saw a decline of almost 8% after the chipmaker provided a weak revenue outlook, reflecting headwinds in the handset market. Commodities decline. In commodities, iron ore slipped below $100 a ton as doubts emerged regarding China's commitment to reviving growth with steel-intensive stimulus. Futures in Singapore lost as much as 4.3%, heading for the sixth weekly drop in the past 7, leading to a drop in European miners' shares. Fitch downgrades U.S. credit rating. Fitch Ratings' downgrade of the U.S.'s long-term credit rating from AAA to AA+ caused a global market reaction. However, experts remain unconcerned about its long-term impact, with many dismissing it as a constructive rotation rather than a major fiscal concern. The overall U.S. economy still appears healthy, and unemployment remains low. Today, safe haven flows continue to dominate the financial markets, leading to the preservation of the U.S. dollar's strength. Investors are closely watching the Bank of England, BOE, as they announce their interest rate decision and Governor Andrew Bailey delivers a statement on the policy outlook. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. The US dollar index, which tracks the USD against major rivals, registered strong gains on Wednesday and has continued to push higher, reaching nearly 103.00 early on Thursday. Wall Street's main indexes suffered heavy losses on Wednesday following the downgrade of the U.S. credit rating, contributing to a sour market mood in the European session, with U.S. stock index futures down between 0.4% and 0.6%. In focus today is the Bank of England's interest rate decision. The BOE is widely expected to raise its policy rate by 25 basis points to 5.25%. However, the central bank is facing challenges due to softening inflation, a worsening economic outlook, and tightening labor market conditions. These factors put the BOE in a tough spot regarding future policy steps. Currently, the pound sterling to US dollar pair is trading modestly lower on the day, just below 1.2700. Additionally, the Bank of Japan, BOJ, reportedly intervened in the bond market during Asian trading hours, purchasing an unlimited amount of 5 to 10-year Japanese government bonds to stem the rise in the yield curve. This move came after the benchmark Japanese government bond yield hit a fresh 9-year high near 0.65%. However, the US dollar to Japanese yen pair faced heavy bearish pressure in the European morning, trading in negative territory at around 143.00. In the commodities market, gold prices declined sharply under the pressure of surging U.S. Treasury bond yields following upbeat ADP private sector employment data on Wednesday. Gold touched a multi-week low at $1,930 early on Thursday but managed to stage a rebound toward $1,940. Meanwhile, Bitcoin failed to build on Tuesday's recovery gains and lost nearly 2% on Wednesday. BTC/USD is currently trading slightly below $29,000 in the European session. Similarly, Ethereum experienced a decline of 1.8% on Wednesday and continued to push lower in the Asian session, with ETH/USD losing more than 0.5% on the day at $1,825. That wraps up today's top international financial and market news. Investors are closely monitoring central bank decisions and economic data for further insights as market volatility persists. Stay tuned for updates as the day unfolds. Thank you for joining me for this briefing. Key events this week: Bank of England rate decision, Thursday. U.S. initial jobless claims, productivity, factory orders, ISM services, Thursday. Eurozone retail sales, Friday. U.S. unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, Friday. Some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. The Stoxx Europe 600 fell 1% as of 9:44 a.m. London time. S&P 500 futures fell 0.6%. Nasdaq 100 futures fell 0.7%. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.5%. The MSCI Asia Pacific Index fell 0.8%. The MSCI Emerging Markets Index fell 0.6%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index rose 0.3%. The Euro fell 0.2% to $1.0915. The Japanese yen rose 0.2% to 143.00 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.2027 per dollar. The British pound fell 0.2% to $1.2681. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin fell 0.3% to $29,033.04. Ether fell 0.7% to $1,827.80. Bonds. The yield on 10-year Treasuries advanced 8 basis points to 4.15%. Germany's 10-year yield advanced 3 basis points to 2.57%. Britain's 10-year yield advanced 3 basis points to 4.43%. Commodities. Brent crude fell 0.5% to $82.75 a barrel. Spot gold rose 0.1% to $1,936.41 an ounce. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching Financial Insights today. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.